What is up, duelists? Arts and Crafts here with your daily dose of Yu-Gi-Oh! GOAT format action. Today's feature match, we got Chaos Dragon 87 versus Migena. Let's hop right into it. Looks like Chaos Dragon is going to take down that RPS. Choose to go first. So they're running a 42 card deck, which you do not see every day. GOAT format is definitely a format where 40 cards is generally considered to be optimal, unless you're playing some really odd sort of like combo strategy that requires weird ratios. So Migena could potentially, if they notice that their opponent was rocking a 42 card main deck, have a little bit hedge their bets a little bit towards some of the more roguish strategies that you could potentially see on the ladder. Chaos Dragon is going to be able to go first here though, so potential for them to just kind of show Migena what they're playing anyway. Really got the Delinquent Duo though, so gonna rip a couple cards out of Migena's hand before they get a chance to see what they're playing. Not too bad. A lot of information here for Chaos Dragon as well. Oh, you hit a Graceful Charity, which is insane. So ripping out a Trinity out of Migena's hand already. And they're going to discard a Kaiku the Ghost Destroyer as well. Okay, so main deck Kaiku, often played by Warrior, is probably what you're thinking if you're Chaos Dragon. See if that changes anything about how you play this out further. Going to go ahead and use a Thunder Dragon. Okay. Looks like my screen froze for a sec. Now we are all good. So yeah, going to grab a couple of copies of that T-Drag, and then going to set a back row pass. Interesting. All right. So the 42 card special here. Looks like it's just some chaos stuff, though, and if it's Turbo, 42 cards in the main deck is kind of very antithetical to how Turbo likes to play, going for maximum consistency. So maybe this is more of a control deck where you're trying to pack in more answers that you could potentially search for. And if you're playing like a very, very slow chaos control deck, such that you're going to, near deck out situations a lot of the time, maybe the extra 2 cards can kind of help you win those scenarios more often. So we'll see if Chaos Dragon is really just kind of in a slog here, and the game plan is just stall until Migena gets decked out. Maybe that'll make sense. Migena here does have a Heavy Storm, so I'm going to rock that one out. Hits a Raigeki Break. Okay, so clearing the back row for potential play to come down. And we're just going to go ahead and normal summon Blade Knight. And, well, he's not at 2,000 life points. Yeah, it's at 1,600. You got to set something first, right? Okay. Yeah, you set it after you went for battle phase. I don't know. We'll see if the players fight over that. But technically, the way Migena sequenced that, Chaos Dragon should have taken 1,600 like they did. And Migena forgot to set ahead of time. So, yeah. Cool. Chaos Dragon here, going to lead out with a Snatch Steal. Yeah, so Migena just going for the Heavy Storm to start beating him with the Blade Knight. Not really gaining any advantage off of that, not recovering anything from that Delinquent Duo. So still decently far behind, but it's nice to at least put a clock on your opponent. Unfortunately for them, Chaos Dragon does have this Snatch Steal to steal away their board. And that will resolve. Yeah, we'll just go ahead, get in for 16 with the Blade Knight, and then just pass from Chaos Dragon. Okay. So only plays the Snatch Steal, which, at least answers Migena's board. And it looks like Chaos Dragon is probably the control player in this matchup anyway. So just, getting a nice kind of pseudo 2-for-1 there with the Snatch Steal is pretty nice. But nothing really to protect it. So we'll see if Migena can draw into any other spell and trap removal. Chaos Dragon knows that Heavy Storm has already been used, so that's one less back row removal card in Migena's deck, so this play is a little bit less likely to go answered. But we'll see if Migena has a plan here. Jar of Greed here to draw a little bit further into the deck. And then we're gonna go summon another Blade Knight, this time set in main phase 1, so that it gets the power up. So we got Blade Knight versus Blade Knight, but one of them is at full strength, at 2,000 attack. You're just gonna go ahead and beat over the one that Chaos Dragon stole from you, and maintain your board presence, maintain your clock. But Chaos Dragon still has a nice full grip of cards here, so potentially likely that they can still answer this. Let's see what the play is, though. We know they have 2 Thunder Dragons in, and they're just going to draw a pass. Wow, so potentially just really bricked here. Sitting on 2 Thunder Dragons, maybe a bunch of dead Chaos, maybe... I don't really know. The 42 card deck running into some bricking issues? Who'd have thunk, right? Migena here, okay, just going to keep getting in with this Blade Knight. Hits for 2k once more. Gonna pass there. This is a 2-turn clock, Chaos Dragon. You gotta find something. Kaiku is definitely a card. We're gonna go crash the Kaiku. So definitely has a lot of bricked Chaos monsters in hand. Has to go crash Kaiku into the Blade Knight just to get a Dark Engrave in order to summon Chaos here. Book of Moon would be pretty insane out of Migana if they play that. Let's see. They're going to let that happen, though. So Chaos Dragon taking 200 damage, using their normal summon, going down a card just to get a Dark Engrave, and hopefully main phase 2 slam down some Chaos and start to control the board from here, I guess is the plan. Yeah, we'll see Chaos Sorcerer hit the board, go ahead and banish that Blade Knight. And now, Chaos Dragon, even though you bricked a little bit, you are in a decent position with this Sorcerer controlling the board. We'll see if Migana has any more gas left in their deck. Delinquent Duo, okay, with double Thunder Dragon and Chaos Dragon's hand, so this is not going to be the most valuable duo you'll ever see. But hopefully you snipe something good if you're Migana. Or the other Thunder Dragon naturally hits the board, or hits the grave. You do just hit a Thunder Dragon, though. Chaos Dragon can discard another one. And yeah, that's just not a very high value duo, but I mean, I guess you might as well throw it out in that situation. Maybe you're not in a position to like really try to min-max that, I guess. And they're just gonna pass there. Yeah, if that was your only play that turn, I feel like you probably hold it and hope they get at least one of their Thunder Dragons out of their hand. So that you can get more value out of the duo, especially because you're so far behind. But Chaos Dragon here going to be able to reach their own turn with this Chaos Sorcerer still kicking around. You do have to worry about potential battle traps. You haven't seen any Mirror Forces. Warrior likes to main deck Sakuretsu Armor as well, so you do have to kind of play around that. Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to completely play around all sorts of battle traps. We're just going to set a monster, set a back row pass, and I guess probably smartly realizing that it's hard for you to lose if this Chaos Sorcerer sticks around. So you might as well not risk it. You can always apply pressure, like if this is a Gravekeeper spy later on or something like that. So you'd rather just kind of keep board control and force Migana to play into you here. Migana has a Nobleman of Cross out here on the set, which is a Magician of Faith, which would have been quite nice to grab. Although I guess Duo and Snatch are both not amazing right now, but at least it's, plussing. Like Chaos Dragon only runs the one copy of Magician of Faith. That seems unlikely. You got to assume they have another Magician of Faith in hand. Surely, if you're running a 42-card Chaos Turbo deck, you're playing multiple copies of Magician of Faith, right? Megan is going to set a back row here. So yeah, a little bit monster-starved. Only drawing the 3 so far this game, but Warrior is a pretty monster-like deck, so these things can happen. And just not finding out to this Chaos Sorcerer. We'll see if Chaos Dragon decides at any point to start beating in for some damage, or is just content to sit on this. Like they have been. Let's see. So set another monster pass. Gotta be that other Magician of Faith, is my guess. Migana here has another Jar of Greed, sure. Into a Zombira. So main deck Zombira. Not something you see every day, but pretty cool. Notably, Chaos Dragon summoned their Sorcerer in attack position, so it is not at risk of getting beaten over by this Zombira. But Migana here probably going to go and try and attack the set monster with their big boy, and it is another Magician of Faith, as predicted. You probably grab, I don't know, Duo here is pretty easily played around by Migana, just like setting their hand, unless it's a monster. Snatch Steal, you don't really want to snatch the Zombira. So I guess you just grab Duo and like, or maybe you just grab Snatch Steal as like extra insurance later on. Because eventually, if Migana wants to win this game, they're going to have to summon something at some point. So maybe Snatch is just the play. Yeah, so just going to grab that even if it's easy to play around. When it's known. Chaos Dragon here. Let's see. We're going to go normal summon Kaiku. We're going to go Sork banish the Zombira. Are we going to see Sork turn into defense position to play around Mirror Force? Or are we just going to attack him with this Kaiku and say, I hope you don't have Mirror Force, basically? No, we are going to go Sork defense position, which will make it vulnerable to like top deck Zombiras later on, potentially, if Migana is running multiple copies. But the important thing here, I think, is really just connecting with this Kaiku, banishing the light and dark out of Migana's grave to turn off BLS, and then you can just kind of go from there. So yeah, Chaos Dragon playing pretty conservatively here, but I think it's definitely smart. Kaiku's going to run into a Sakuretsu Armor, but that's one less battle trap for the future, so I think you're fine with that. And you are a little bit low on life, but I think playing it kind of slowly here is smart, given the cards that you have available to you. Migana here has a reinforcement of the army, so show me another Zombira to kill this Chaos Sorcerer. That could be pretty neat. We're going to go for Ninja Grandmaster Sasuke, which is another reason why it's good to have your Chaos Monsters in attack position instead of defense position. And we'll see if this Ninja Grandmaster connects, because if it does, suddenly Migana is in a pretty nice position. And, maybe I was wrong this whole time and Chaos Dragon should have been pressuring. I mean, I guess the Sork would have eaten a Sakuretsu Armor at some point. But I wonder if it's worth playing around specifically Mirror Force and not just assuming that Migena has only like a Sakuretsu set, maybe. We'll see, though. Sasuke getting in here would be pretty nice. Yeah, it will just kill that Sorcerer, and suddenly Migena is right back in this game. 2-turn clock with this Ninja Grandmaster. Chaos Dragon, do you have an out? You have Chaos Live here pretty easily, and you were pretty bricked before, so I have to assume you probably are running, probably have some other Chaos in your hand, I'm guessing. Just going to run out that Snatch Shield that we knew about. Migena does not have an out towards it. Ooh, and then we have the Tsukuyomi to complete the stealing combo, removing the Snatch Shield, so that's not a way of Migena getting their monster back. Then we're just going to go flip summon Ninja Grandmaster, beat in for 2,700. And now Chaos Dragon is the one clocking Migena, saying, okay, with the Snatch Steal, I think I have stabilized, so let me start putting some pressure on and close this game out. I like the play. End phase, Tsukuyomi gets back to hand, and Suk plus Ninja Grandmaster is a 2-turn clock. Ninja Grandmaster alone is also a 2-turn clock, so Migena very much back up against the wall here. Let's see if they have any outs left in their deck to do this aggressive push from Chaos Dragon. Top deck Kaiku is not too bad. Can at least trade with the Ninja Grandmaster. Okay, we'll see if this is the plan. Ooh, and we have Call of the Haunted for probably Blade Knight. Or would you rather go Call of the Haunted for... I guess, so... Interesting choice here. You could go Call of the Haunted for Kaiku, crash the Kaiku into the Ninja Grandmaster, and then connect with Kaiku to turn the opponent off Chaos, because then they won't have any Darks engrave, which does actually seem pretty nice. The more aggressive play is you reanimate your Blade Knight, and then Blade Knight can beat over the Ninja Grandmaster, and Kaiku can... Well, I guess in that... Yeah, never mind. That's pretty dumb. Yeah, you should just do the Blade Knight anyway. Just do Blade Knight, kill the Ninja Grandmaster, Kaiku will attack in for 18 and banish stuff. Either way, you get a Kaiku connection, so I don't think there's actually really any point of going for the Kaiku here. So yeah, definitely just gonna grab the Blade Knight. Trying to be a little bit too cute, I guess. But yeah, Blade Knight, kill Ninja Grandmaster. Notably getting a light back engrave to turn Chaos on. And then Kaiku can get in for 18, which we will see happen, and then banish both of the Dark. So really strong player from Migena. Having top deck Kaiku to turn off Chaos, plus the Call of the Haunted that was waiting in the wings for a while there, waiting for the exact right moment to bring back this Blade Knight to get maximum value and clear out the way for a Kaiku to get in. So Migena being really patient here despite being down a lot of cards and getting rewarded for it by finding the perfect time to go for this Call of the Haunted. And now they're in a really, really strong position. And this has been a crazy back and forth match so far. Yeah, banish both those Darks definitely makes sense. You do have Tsukuyomi to worry about, because Suk can clear out one of these two monsters, assuming Migena doesn't have like another Sakuretsu or anything. But if your only play for turn is Suk kill a monster, the other one represents lethal, so you're going to need something else here for your Chaos Dragon to deal with it. So I like Migena's kind of gambit here, saying, okay, yeah, Suk might answer one of my monsters, but I'm pressuring your life points enough that I don't actually care. I'm going to force you to have multiple answers here. Now, notably, one thing to think about as well is Chaos Dragon, or Migena did not have Mirror Force set at any point while that Chaos Sorcerer was on the board, because we see that the unknown set was Call of the Haunted. So they had Call of the Haunted and Sakuretsu set the whole time. So getting punished for turning that Chaos Sorcerer into defense position is pretty big, and that actually might have been, I'm not going to say a mistake, but the play, because this is a game of imperfect information, so sometimes you can make the correct play statistically, but get punished for it because, there's a 40% chance that it doesn't work out or something. And that might have been what really, brought Migena back into this game, allowing them to go for that Rhoda for Ninja Grandmaster play, clear out the Sork, and then it's been pretty tough for Chaos Dragon to stabilize ever since that Sork was answered. And now they don't have any Chaos Live as well. Just we know about that Suk in hand, so let's see if they have something else going on for them. Mystical Space Typhoon can blow up the Call of the Haunted, which will... Yeah, so Suk combined with MST here is 2 answers to both of their monsters. So this is pretty strong. That'll kill that Blade Knight. When we're just going to go try Infecting Virus here. Discard a Relinquished. Oh, so Chaos Dragon is running Ritual Chaos. Okay, so we see the Relinquished here in the main deck. Just, I guess, hasn't drawn into any of their Manju, Senju stuff, which, can definitely happen when you're playing more than 40 cards. But we're going to see Tribe discard Relinquished, getting a Dark Engrave to turn Chaos on, popping the Kaiku to remove the Chaos preventing Floodgate. Nice, so a little bit better of a play if you want to go for the win here. Well, I guess you don't have... We know you have Tsukuyomi in hand, but Tribe here is a little bit bigger of a threat, I guess, is the idea. And you can actually hit in for damage, whereas if you just went for the Suk play, you wouldn't have pressured Megaena's life points at all. So I like being a little bit more aggressive here, right? You only have 800 life left, so you're dead to like top deck Ring pretty much at any point. So you do kind of have to push the issue before Megaena can just draw into the card that wins in the game. So I like going for the more aggressive option here with the Tribe attacking in for 16. And now Tribe plus Suk next turn is lethal, notably. We'll see if Megaena has a way out of this one. Crazy back and forth game here so far. Megaena on their last legs. We'll see if they have one more trick up their sleeve. Gonna set a monster. Okay, so just getting something in the way of this Tribe. Alright, Chaos Dragon has a Breaker the Magical Warrior as their top deck, which is pretty nice. You can blow up this unknown back row. We're actually just going to not do it. We're going to go for a lethal attempt here. We're going to go Tribe attack the set monster, hope we can get over it, and then Breaker with the token on it at 1900 attack is exactly lethal. So a little bit risky not playing around this set back row, but potentially noticing that if it was Sakuretsu armor or something, or Mirror Force maybe would have been used against a Tri-Blast turn, so it's a little bit less likely that you have to worry about battle traps. We'll see if Megaena... Megaena has showed pretty great patience so far this game, though, with like how they held their Call of the Haunted, so I wouldn't put it past them to have held a battle trap here, knowing that they could take one hit from the Tribe. And we'll see if Chaos Dragon gets punished for this a little bit greedier of a play. Tribe will kill a Mystic Swordsman, so at this point you know it's not Mirror Force at least. Breaker will try to get in for a game. Ooh, and Megaena has Scapegoat. Yes, so I remember in the past, they are running this kind of like warrior control list, where it's like Goat Control running a really heavy warrior package. So they can be super aggressive early game with all of this standard warrior stuff like Kaikus and Blade Knights and everything. But then they also have kind of the fallback plan in longer games of like classic Goat, Scapegoat, Metamorphosis stuff to give them a little bit more of a grindy edge to their deck. And Scapegoat coming in clutch here, saving them from imminent demise. So I guess the Breaker attack, or the Breaker token wouldn't have really done anything. Chaos Dragon actually getting rewarded for not using it, because now the Breaker token is saved. Because Megaena, of course, would have just chained the Scapegoat to the Breaker token. Chaos Dragon probably not expecting to have to play around Scapegoat here, though, so just getting rewarded for a play that, probably did not take this into account at all. But that's how she rolls sometimes. And then we're actually going to leave a Goat token on the board. Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Might as well, because we're just going to go main phase 2, Tribe effect, discard the Tsukuyomi to clear out all the Goat tokens, present lethal to your opponent next board. So yeah, being forced to use Scapegoat to protect your life when Tribe infecting viruses on board is very, very unfortunate. And it will just, all those Goat tokens will just immediately meet their demise at the hands of the Tribe effect calling Beast. And yeah, now Chaos Dragon finally is passing with lethal on board. Megaena is down to just their top deck. Top deck BLS would be insane for a game. Let's see what they have, though. Snatch Steal? Is Snatch Steal game? I guess you snatch the Breaker, attack over the Tribe, and then pop the back row main phase 2 is the idea? Is that the play? Or do you go... I guess you could go, the safe play would be snatch Breaker, pop the back row, crash Breaker into Tribe, but I don't know if you can afford to be that conservative right now. So, yeah, let's see what the play is. Top deck snatch, kill the Tribe. Chaos Dragon goes down to 500. Main phase 2, Breaker effect, pop the set. Hits a dead Trap Dust Shoot, which I think at this point it was pretty likely it was that, because that had been sitting there for a while. But now suddenly Megaena is, with the top deck snatch, you'll right back into this game, presenting lethal to Chaos Dragon. What a crazy game one. Chaos Dragon, what did you draw? You get to gain 1,000 off of snatch, but Breaker still represents lethal. We do have a set monster here to get in the way. We still haven't seen any Koichis. We haven't seen any Gravekeeper Spies, for example. Although not every Ritual deck plays a lot of flips, because they like to, blank opponents' knocks and stuff. Although we did see that they're main decking 2 copies of Magician of Faith. But yeah, Megaena here, top deck Nobleman of Crossout is game. Top deck Rhoda for Exiled is probably game. Looks like they didn't draw anything super crazy, though. Just going to go beat into this set with the Breaker. And it is a Sinister Serpent, which is an interesting top deck, because it can wall out this Breaker, and you can gain 1,000 life every turn. So actually, this is pretty nice. And forces Megaena to find another threat. Otherwise, the Snatch Shield will just put Chaos Dragon out of lethal range very quickly. Megaena just drew a back row for turn. We'll see if it's anything interesting later on. Chaos Dragon here going to recur that Sinister Serpent, gain 1,000 off of Snatch Steal. Now Breaker is no longer lethal. Ooh, and it looks like they top-decked a Chaos Sorcerer here again. That Relinquished Engrave being used as the Dark Fodder. You can go ahead and banish the Breaker, and suddenly you are... Now Chaos Dragon is in the Ascendancy once more. Sheesh, what a long and crazy game. Sork is going to go banish Breaker. Representing lethal here again next turn. Going to set that Sinister Serpent to protect your life points. Makes total sense. Megaena, top deck Snatch Steal, extended this game for a little bit. Do you have another trick up your sleeve once more? Top deck Nobleman of Crossout can answer the Serpent at least, which isn't terrible. But now you need a way to deal with this Chaos Sorcerer, otherwise it is just GG. Let's see. Gonna get in for 23. Megaena has another Scapegoat here to really drag things out. Sork on its own is gonna get walled out by this for a long time. Tribe Infecting Virus we know is already gone. And wow, you can see Megaena's the strength of their deck. They have this grindier, long-term game plan if their early warrior beatdown push gets answered. And now they're like just a top deck away from being in a really solid position once more. Chaos Dragon gonna go lead out with an Upstart Goblin here. You're not gonna be dealing damage to your opponent anytime soon, so it definitely makes sense. Of course, they held that in main phase 1 because it would have put the Sork out of lethal range attacking directly. But now that the Sork is walled out with these Go tokens, you just no reason not to use Upstart here. And yeah, Upstart's going to extend this game even longer. Lots of life gained by both players this game, thanks to all the Snatch Shield resolutions, and now these Upstart Goblins coming through as well. Megaena, one more top deck. We've got DD Warrior Lady, which answers the Chaos Sorcerer. Ooh, we've got Ring here on the DD Warrior Lady, though. So both players will take 15. And this Chaos Sorcerer will live to see another day. Chaos Dragon down to 1,000. Top deck Ring would do it. Well, top deck Ring would actually be a tie at this point, right? Let's see. Chaos Dragon. Gonna go attack in one of these tokens. Sure. Just gonna pass. Megaena here. Just gonna set a monster pass. Alright. Chaos Dragon. Got a Sangan here, so gonna be able to kill 2 monsters a turn with both of these, so pretty nice. You do have a set to worry about. Sork is gonna go attack into it. It is just a Blade Knight here to wall out the damage. Yeah, not really doing anything against that Sork, so it makes sense to set it. And Sangan can kill a token, and now Sangan plus Sork represents lethal next turn. With Sangan, kill the token, Sork get in for lethal. So Megaena, once again, top deck scenario, you need to find something to block this. And it's going to be a Donzalug, holy moly. We just keep on doing it. Donzalug is going to go beat over this Sangan and rip out a card from the opponent's hand. Yeah, Sangan effect should happen first, I think. They're going to add a Manchu to 10,000 hands, so confirming that they are running the standard Ritual Chaos stuff. And then Donzalug effect can rip one out of their hand. Let's see. You end up hitting that Manju. Okay, so now Sork on its own, once again, no longer lethal. Megaena top decks another, not going to say out, but at least another way to delay this potentially. And we'll see what Chaos Dragon can do. We're just going to go ahead. Yeah, Sork beat over Donzalug. No reason to keep Darks out of grave. There are plenty in there. So just get a little bit of extra damage here. It'll drop Megaena down to 500 life points, I think. And wow, we've got 500 versus 600 here. Megaena just has a back row. Sork on its own, once again, not lethal. Megaena has another chance to top deck and out here. Gonna set a back row. We still haven't seen Mirror Force, right? Or like Torrential or anything like that. Ring to tie the game would be insane. Got Sork banish it. Yeah, play around Mirror Force by not attacking with the Sork. Definitely makes sense. Megaena top decks an Upstart. Put Chaos Dragon to 1600. And they draw into another back row. So Chaos Dragon, where's your Heavy Storm, man? Card destruction here to dig for Heavy Storm, I guess, is the idea. Okay, you're going to discard 2 dead Noblemen of Crossouts. Sure. Pretty good card D here, even if it puts you down a card. Let's see. We're going to go attack for game with the Chaos Sorcerer. But the Mirror Force is there, so looks like Chaos Dragon trying to dig for that Heavy Storm, doesn't find it. Now Mirror Force is here to pop the Sork, and this game will continue to go on. Ooh, but Chaos Dragon has the Book of Moon to trade with the Mirror Force and keep their Chaos Sorcerer alive to represent lethal again next turn. What actually ended up being a pretty nice draw off that card D. They didn't find the Heavy Storm that they probably wanted, but they did find an answer to potential Mirror Force, and now Mirror Force is gone, and Chaos Dragon knows they don't have to worry about that for the rest of the game. Gonna pass here with that Sork in face down defense position, ready to flip up next turn and get in for lethal. Again, it draws another back row. Definitely could still have other Sakuretsus here. Torrential Tribute to pop the Sork when it flip summons would be pretty funny as well. Let's see, we're going to get flip summon Sork. Going to normal summon Manju. Still has targets in the deck here. Going to grab another copy of Relinquished. And now with no Mirror Force to worry about, Sakuretsu isn't enough to protect Chaos Dragon. Let's see if they can just get in for game here. Manju attack. Scapegoat here, the third copy in the main deck to stall out once more. Holy moly, what a marathon. And then we're going to kill 2 tokens there. There you go, Manju and Chaos Sorcerer kill both of them. Still not lethal next turn, though. Scapegoat doing a really good job of at least stalling this one out. Migena has not been in a position to win this game for a very long time. This Sorcerer has just continued to grind out advantage turn after turn. But hey, you can't lose until you hit 0 life, right? So I really like Migena here, just trying to grind this one out as far as possible. Definitely still had some good stuff left in deck, including this Pot of Greed. So we'll see that draw into a couple cards, seeing it really late, but maybe exactly when they need it. They draw into Exiled Force here, gonna pop the Chaos Sorcerer with that to continue to stall out this game, and then pass turn, and now this Manju is gonna have to do a lot of work before it can get in for some damage once more. And yeah, you can see Migena just really stalling this one out as best as they can. Chaos Dragon here. Let's see, we got top deck Graceful Charity, sure. Let's see. What is left in the deck? We're going to discard a Heavy Storm and a Black Illusion Ritual. Sure. Might as well. Black Illusion Ritual not doing too much here, although you do have the Relinquish in hand to go with it. But sucking in a Go token and having a 0/0 obviously is not the strongest play. Let's see. Yeah, the only play is just Manju kill a Go token, set a back row pass, and Migena once again, chance to do something. Finally, they find the Blackluster Soldier. Torrential Tribute is going to have to come out from Chaos Dragon, but that wipes away their threat as well. All right. And yeah, Torrential Tribute going to blow up the board. Definitely favors Chaos Dragon a little bit because they have a few more cards. I guess they... Yeah, we know that they have a probably dead Relinquished in hand, though, so interesting that they kept whatever that back row was instead of that Black Illusion Ritual. But Migena... Oh, normal summon Tribe for game? Is this enough? You baited out the Torrential Tribute. Raigeki Break, discarding Relinquish to pop the Tribe. They just have answers for everything both players are doing. That's so insane. Migena has to think here. We're going to ring just to tie the game. Holy moly. And an absolute marathon game, and it's not even over. Holy! So we'll go to essentially game 1 here, with Chaos Dragon able to go first here, winning that RPS. So it looks like we've got Ritual Chaos versus Migena's patented Warrior control list. As you can see, these games can go pretty long, so I hope you guys are kind of battened down here. Chaos Dragon opening Thunder Dragon here in game 2. It's pretty nice. Sure. And just going to go set a bunch of back row, normal summon DD Warrior Lady, which is not something you would expect to see in these Ritual Chaos lists, but definitely a very good card in the format. And a good monster to open with as well. Pretty safe. So decent start here. Looks like we got Tribe Dust Shoot here in the standby phase, so Migena will get their hand revealed. We'll see Chaos Dragon has the double Thunder Dragon plus Breaker, so nothing too insane. And you see an opponent's hand with Blade Knight, Exiled, and Kaiku as the potential answers, or the potential targets of your Dust Shoot. You also see a Torrential Tribute, an MST, and a Jar, so pretty standard back row stuff. Let's see. I guess Kaiku banishing your Light out of grave is kind of annoying. You probably don't care about Exiled killing your DD Warrior Lady. You don't really care about Blade Knight because you have DD Warrior Lady, so I think you probably just send back the Kaiku here, is the idea. And protect your grave so you don't have to, like, try hard to get a Light Engrave and maybe go minus by discarding a Thunder Dragon. That's probably the play. We're We're going to hit the Exiled, actually, though. So maybe saying, okay, if you have some battle traps and you don't have to worry about Kaiku anyway, shuffling back the Exiled Force makes sense because it's the only way to answer your DD Warrior Lady without going into battle. Although you probably, if that's your play, you got to hope that MST doesn't just snipe whatever your battle trap is, unless you have two. But Exiled is going to get shuffled back here, which I think signifies, like I was saying, Chaos Dragon has probably a battle trap. We're gonna go try and snipe it with that MST, which I think makes sense. It's a Dust Tornado. Okay, so you got to think that whatever this other card is probably a battle trap. And Migena is going to go for this Kaiku play that I think makes total sense. You're going to end up trading, but you at least get to banish the lights out of Chaos Dragon's grave, which is nice if this connects. But we do have the ring out of Chaos Dragon, as expected, popping the Kaiku, keeping the DD Warrior Lady alive, and can continue to pressure Migena's life points. So nice play there by Chaos Dragon, sending back the one card that could answer the DD Warrior Lady that could get around the Ring of Destruction, winning the 50-50 off of Migena's MST, which will get a little bit of value here, right? Because now you don't have a way of easily answering this Torrential, like with your trap, with your Dust Tornado that you had set. So it's not like that MST was completely wasted. But still, I think slight advantage here. Chaos Dragon up a lot of tempo with this DD Warrior Lady on board. Gonna be able to get in for 15. Sure. I'm gonna set a back row pass. Nice. I guess you know the other set is probably Jar of Greed. Now, if you're Migena, there could be some value in not activating the Jar of Greed, just so your opponent doesn't know exactly which one is the Torrential. Because we know this list, I mean, we saw a Dust Tornado, so they are potentially playing a lot of targeted back row removal. And specifically, we know Chaos Dragon also has a Breaker in hand, which they chose not to play, but, you know, playing around Torrential Tribute, of course, by not summoning it. Migena is going to go fire off that Jar, so really likely that this other back row is Torrential. I guess it has to be, right? Because we know the hand is... Or no... I can't remember what the other card was in hand. We know one of the cards in hand is Blade Knight, right? Ooh, draws into duo off of this Jar, so that's pretty nice. That will rip out, let's see. Hits just one of the Thunder Dragons. Yeah, so Migena here really likes to run out these Delinquent Duos when you know your opponent just has a bunch of Thunder Dragons in hand. I guess you're at the risk of Chaos Dragon going down to less than 2 cards in hand at some point. Or exactly 2 cards where all you can hit is Thunder Dragons, so at some point you might as well just fire off the duo for the small chance you hit the non-Thunder Dragon card. Which seems to be what they're doing here, but they just end up hitting that Thunder Dragon anyway, 2/3 chance that they do, so pretty likely. And Chaos Dragon's just going to pitch that last Thunder Dragon as well. Definitely makes sense. Migena going to set another back row there. Chaos Dragon, once again, knowing that they have to play around this Torrential Tribute, but can continue to just get in with this DD Warrior Lady. That's totally fine. Sakuretsu Arm out of Migena, though. It's a nice way of answering that. Definitely a good card against kind of these more aggressive Chaos strategies. And clean answer to that DD Warrior Lady. Chaos Dragon out of gas here. Going to set a back row pass. And I guess you got to risk next turn if you want to just summon Breaker into the known Torrential. Just to get it out of the way, and then you can continue to play forward with it. Migena here does have a Blade Knight, though. So now the Breaker play looks a little bit better because they're not going to Torrential away their own Blade Knight. Blade Knight can get in for 2k here. We do have a Sakuretsu Armor out of Chaos Dragon, though. Both players running their battle traps. You know, both 2 aggressive decks here, so definitely makes sense that you're going to side those in. For both players, Migena's going to add another back row pass. Chaos Dragon does have the Heavy Storm, just blow everything up, get rid of this Torrential Tribute, and make their Breaker, you know, basically a 2-turn clock now, if it keeps the token on with the 1900. Ooh, but Migena is going to chain the Scapegoat to just put a wall up here. Breaker's still probably going to come down and start eating away at these tokens, but Migena once again able to stall these games out. And last time we saw them stall out long enough just to ring for the tie, which I guess is kind of plan B here if you're Migena, now that you're down a little bit. Migena going to draw a pass. Has Chaos Live, but potentially choosing not to use it, maybe. Let's see. Ooh, Chaos Dragon with the top deck. Kaiku is pretty nice. Turns off Chaos if Migena held onto it. They might immediately regret that decision if that's what they went for. And it's going to start churning through these Go tokens even faster. It's going to clear out 2 of them. And now Migena draws into Pot of Greed. Really nice. Let's see. So 3 cards in hand, 1 Goat token to their name. We're going to get, ooh, Tribe Infecting Virus, discarding another Blade Knight. Just to clear... Oh, yeah, because you can call Spellcasters, so this is a nice little 2-for-1, even if you have to discard a pretty nice card. But you can't pass up that value. That's just too juicy, right? Especially because it's a Breaker that still has the token on, so that's like a full card's worth of value there. So yeah, Tribe here, popping both spellcasters, get in for 16. Begin as taking back board control, taking back card advantage with that Knight's 2-for-1. Turns out Tribe Infected Virus is a good card. Chaos Dragon, looks like they top deck a Chaos Sorcerer, though. Man, what a crazy top deck here coming out. Gonna go ahead and banish that Tribe. Once again, playing around battle traps by not attacking directly. And now we're in a very similar position to last game, where we got a Chaos Sorcerer with a potential back row battle trap to play around, and potential goats to get through before it can start representing lethal damage. And we'll see if Meganna can just continue to stall out here. Has another monster to set. Chaos Dragon has an upstart to draw a little bit further into their deck. Gonna attack this set monster, which is just a Donzalug. Alright, so getting a nice plus there. Saying, I'm not gonna play around battle traps this time. Show me that you have it, right? Set a back row pass, sure. Meganna has another set monster, so just walling out here as best they can. Normal summon Kaiku. Okay, so now able to clear out both of these monsters this turn potentially. Sork will kill the set, which is a Kaiku. So yeah, Chaos Dragon really in a nice spot here, plussing every turn with just this Sork beatdown plan. And Kaiku can clear out this last token, and now the shields are down for Meganna. I'll save another scapegoat, which would be funny. Meganna draws into another Upstart Goblin, sure. Into Call of the Haunted to revive. Probably Blade Knight to kill the Kaiku, I guess is the idea, to protect your grave and make Chaos more alive. I think is probably what you'll do. Kind of desperate, because you know the Sork will just end up answering it later on. But at least it keeps like top deck BLS alive. Yeah, we're going to see Blade Knight go attack over this Kaiku. Chaos Dragon, Battle Trap would be nice. It's not going to happen, though. Okay, so Kaiku is dealt with, and now you've protected the Chaos, like I was saying. You're also going to add a back row pass. Chaos Dragon draws into Snatch Shield, which is really nice. Stealing that Blade Knight. Show me the Mirror Force. I mean, Mirror Force isn't even that bad. And yeah, big Alpha Strike here. Going to hit in for 43. Looks like no set scapegoat here for Meganna, and now Chaos Dragon is passing with lethal on board, even if Meganna gains the 1,000 off the Snatch Steal. Adding another back row, though. Now it's Mirror Force, maybe? Let's see. Both monsters on their own represent lethal, so Sakuretsu is not enough here. Sork attacks in. Scapegoat, of course. The top deck to continue to stall out here. What an insane card Scapegoat has been for Meganna so far this match. Sheesh. And then Blade Knight can, yeah. Sork and Blade Knight clear out a couple tokens, but still, once again, Meganna holding on for dear life. And gaining life every turn off of the Snatch Steal is pretty relevant. He's trying to find that Mirror Force as fast as possible, I guess. Chaos Dragon has a skilled Dark Magician. Not a card you see every day. Especially in these like more standard Chaos lists. But it's definitely nice against Warrior, because it's just a big body, I guess. And now you can go Sork, banish something, turn to defense to play around potential Mirror Force. Skilled Dark kills the token. Sakuretsu is going to kill it, though. Okay. So, once again, protecting the life points. Blade Knight can now get in and kill that token. And now, you know that this back row is probably just like a dead dust shoot at this point, right? And now, once again, passing with lethal on board. Meganna, do you have Scapegoat number 3? Heavy Storm. Wow, so really patient with that Heavy Storm. Using it as late as possible to get back this Blade... To get back the Blade Knight, I guess, is the idea. I mean, you should get your Blade Knight back, right? You shouldn't. That's. Oh no, it was a Call of the Haunted on the Blade Knight, right? So it was Call of the Haunted and then Snatch. So yeah, using the Heavy Storm as just a nuclear option to blow up the entire board and set something. Yeah, so maybe now it's the Mirror Force or something, or maybe you just found a Sakuretsu armor and so you can only deal with the Sork but not the Blade Knight, maybe. Chaos Dragon here, just gonna go get in for 23. Meganna has the Sakuretsu every time, right? Now Chaos Dragon's gonna set a back row. This is a deck that can definitely brick, right, when you're playing all this ritual stuff. So opening for Meganna here, another Upstart Goblin, okay. Into Blade Knight, that's 2,000 attack, starting beating in, sure, apply this clock. Sakuretsu Art of Chaos Dragon, though. Sure, let's see. Asura Priest, 2-turn clock. Nice draw out of Chaos Dragon, gonna apply some more pressure here. Meganna, surely you cannot find an out to this, right? The top deck king so far. Okay, Rhoda for Ninja Grandmaster, which is big enough to not die to Asura Priest. Can start getting in. Not going to attack in case it's a battle trap, though. So just going to wall at the Asura Priest. It's kind of nice. Ooh, top deck Pot from Chaos Dragon, though. So likely that they'll find an out to this Ninja Grandmaster, and then Asura Priest can attack in for game. Oh, we're just going to go Soup, kill the Ninja Grandmaster, and then Asura Priest still represents lethal. That's totally fine. You're going to set a monster pass. Asura Priest just going to go ahead and kill it. Sure, continue to just go up cards. Begana has Premature Burial on something. Show me the Kaiku, I guess. On the Donzalug. Okay, gonna try and rip out that Asura Priest, but we got the Mirror Force. And there you go. So finally, game 1 taken down there. For Chaos Dragon with the Asura Priest representing lethal. And yeah, just lots of battle traps, lots of trading back and forth. Migana will get to go to game 2 here, up, or not up a game, but we'll be able to go first at least. They're going to lead out with a Graceful Charity, draw into a bunch of cards, discard Zanbaira and Sakuretsu. Sure. So pitching a Sakuretsu here is kind of interesting, as well as Zanbaira. So you think that would be really good to wall out some stuff. But they're going to go T-Set Pass, which is a nice start. Chaos Dragon has a duel here to rip out some stuff. Sure. Let's see, we hit a Reinforcement of the Army, which is nice. Hits a Torrential Tribute as well. Sure. And then we're going to activate Thunder Dragon to go up a nice little card there. So nice opening from Chaos Dragon with the duo plus T-Drag. Into Upstart, sure. Into set a monster, set a bunch of back row pass. So a little bit slower opening from both players here. None of the fireworks we've seen in the last couple of matches. Beginning here has a second copy of Rhoda, though. Going to draw into a Mystic Swordsman. Use that to potentially clear out the set monster. And it is just a Sinister Serpent at least, so not too bad. Not going negative there, and now Mystic Serpent is kind of a sitting duck for Chaos Dragon to answer. Gonna recur that Serpent, of course. Raigeki Break, discard Serpent to pop the set monster, which was a Donzalug, which is a little bit cheeky. And now you can do the cool trick where you Raigeki Break, discard Serpent in standby phase, so you can re-grab the Serpent in the same standby phase. So pretty nice. And then we are going to go just, once again, set a monster, set a back row. Very well could be that Sinister, just to continue to wall this Mystic Swordsman. You probably don't set a real set into Mystic Swordsman, of course. Blade Knight here for Migana to continue to apply pressure, though. So now Swordsman, even if it's a Sinister, Blade Knight represents a nice clock. And yeah, that's 2k into the Dome, but we got a Sakuretsu armor to deal with the Blade Knight, of course. So yeah, Mystic Swordsman unable to really get too much done here once more. We'll get End Phase Dust Tornado on the new set as well, which is a ring. Okay, cool. A nice simplifying of the game state there. Chaos Dragon gonna grab that Sinister Serpent once more. Probably just set it back in the way of this Mystic Swordsman. Sure. Gonna kill it. Once again, yep. No one really making any progress here. End Phase Mystical Space Typhoon, clear out a back row. It's a Call of the Haunted, which is another nice one to pop. Cool. Game state continuing to get simplified. Sinister Serpent continuing to get grabbed here. It's gonna set it in the way. Jar agreed to draw a little bit more for Migana. Mystic Swordsman attack the set. Sure. Add some back row. Neither player able to really break the stalemate so far. Sure. Migana just trying to draw through their deck with these Jar of Greeds. Sure. And yeah, Chaos Dragon here. I mean, this favors the Chaos player, right? Because Warrior's the one who likes a simplified game state. So the more cards both players have, the more the Chaos Turbo is favored. So you're totally fine just stalling out here forever if you can. Again, it's churning through their deck at a light speed, but unable to find a really good answer to the Sinister. Really wants a Nobleman of Crossout, but just not drawing them. But at least they found an extra threat here within the Tribe to hit in for 16. Sakuretsu armor once again dealing with that, though. And yeah, no damage allowed to come through just yet. Sinister just sticking around forever and ever and ever. Heavy Storm will blow up the Mirror Force, though, so Chaos Dragon potentially going for an actual aggressive play here. Removing Mirror Force as well is really nice. Now you don't have to play around that or Torrential the entire rest of the game, which is really, really solid. Because we've seen Chaos Dragon run into a bunch of battle traps and stuff from Migana so far, which has really drawn out these games. Skilled Dark is just a nice way to beat over this Mystic Swordsman. Sure, I like the play. Gonna set a back row pass. All good. Migana gonna have Blade Knight here, plus set 2 back row to pump it up to 2k. One of the reasons why you don't see as much Skilled Dark as you used to back in the day is because Blade Knight is oftentimes just bigger than it, right? So it's nice because it deals with, Donzalugs and weaker Blade Knights and Tribes and Ninja Grandmasters, but it does lose to powered up Blade Knights. You see Chaos Dragon has another back row, or another battle trap. Book of Moon here to set the Blade Knight and potentially beat over it with Skilled Dark. So going down a card in the short term to hopefully make up on that investment next turn. But Migana does have a couple back row here that could deal with it, although they're a little bit less likely to be real, because Migana probably just sets them to power with the Blade Knight here. So we'll see. Chaos Dragon has a breaker here to potentially blow up one of those back row. We'll see if they were actually real stuff. It is a scapegoat here, so again, it's just going to chain that, really stall things out here once more, as this deck likes to do. Breaker will go ahead and attack the Blade Knight, though, and kill it, so recouping the investment from the Book of Moon, and now you'll start eating away at these Go tokens. And honestly, Chaos Dragon in a pretty good position here. Sakuretsu will deal with the Skill Dark, but important that they had the second monster to kill the Blade Knight. And now, Migena, you're down to just some Goat tokens and one card in hand, but we've seen them really draw out games in this position before, so we'll see if they can work that magic again. Just going to set a back row here. Chaos Dragon has a Tribe here in main phase 1, with the Sinister in hand to blow up all those Goat tokens and open up the floodgates to get some damage in. You know you don't have to play around Mirror Force, you know you don't have to play around Torrential, so I like getting really aggressive here. Can start beating in for 3,200. Migena only has so many Sakuretsus. They've used 2, might not even be playing the 3rd. But yeah, I like getting really aggressive here, and Chaos Dragon in a really nice spot. Let's see, Migena, what, 3rd Jar of Greed, so really drawn through this deck. Into Exiled, pop the Tribe, into set a back row. Okay, so dealing with the Tribe at least, getting rid of some of the damage, but still this Breaker is threatening them, and it is a 3-turn clock on its own. DD Warrior Lady is going to speed up that clock pretty substantially here as well. And once again, no high-impact traps to play around, so might as well get in for maximum damage. Still no back row out of Chaos Dragon, but you're passing with lethal on board. We've resolved triple Jar of Greed, double Upstart this turn, and they're still so far behind, just not really drawing the cards that they need. Snatch Seal is a really good out to this, though. You're going to steal the Breaker, crash into DD Warrior Lady, blow up their whole board, a nice little 2-for-1. Nice little steal back of tempo. You also still have your normal summon if you would like to use it this turn. Yeah, just going to banish both of those. Chaos Implications doesn't really matter because Chaos Dragon has it on anyway, but Snatch is a nice tidy way to deal with that whole board at least. Chaos Dragon here, up several cards though. We're going to go normal summon Sinister, which is actually a real clock when your opponent's only at 1700 life. And I like the play. Might as well just continue to clock the opponent while you're up some cards. Sinister just really doing it all this game. Tribute fodder for Tribe, or discard fodder for Tribe. Walling out a Mystic Swordsman for forever. And now it might be the clock that wins Chaos Dragon the game. Let's see. We're going to go Tribute Summon for Mobius. That's an insane card. Not one that I would have expected to come out from Chaos Dragon here, but it is going to hit the board. You can blow up 2 of the back row, hits a duo, and then we're going to chain a Scapegoat here to continue to get some stuff in the way. Sure. Totally fine. Chaos Dragon getting walled out once more, but this is still, Scapegoat with no follow-up is, kind of an egg, right? It buys you some time, but once the goats are gone, you're just down a card from using it. So I think Chaos Dragon, with the slower deck, is totally fine using this. Again, you're just going to draw past. Mobius can continue to eat away at these. You might even just normal summon Sinister to increase the rate at which you're able to deal with these monsters. Premature Burial on Tribe is also just insane, especially when you still have that Sinister in hand. No Torrential to worry about, so this is totally fair. And that is finally going to be it. Chaos Dragon taking it down, actually 2-0 here, running this Ritual Chaos deck against Migena playing their patented Warrior control list. Game 1 was a draw and a crazy back and forth. You can really see why Migena runs these Scapegoats in this deck, because it lets them just kind of draw things out after their early aggressive pushes are stymied. And then, kind of draw things out. And they were able to actually draw the first game, but didn't have the gas in games 2 and 3. And Chaos Dragon was just able to slowly grind these ones out, this game out, with kind of their better card advantage here. Eat through these Scapegoat tokens turn after turn while Migena was trying to draw any interaction. Didn't end up coming through, and Chaos Dragon ends up taking it down with a nice 2-0 at the end of things. So pretty cool decks, pretty cool match. Hope you guys enjoy this one. I'll catch you all next time.